you.
Talking about being open to others, one of the things that really struck me in the book was the what you came to call some of the Camino angels, as it were,
Yeah.
some of the people that you encountered on the way. And ironically, people like Camino Patrick was one that stood out for me. So,
Well, the thing that had been my big challenge in life, and we all have at least one, but my big challenge in life was I was married to Patrick. My husband's name was Patrick, and ours was a chronically combative, vinegar and oil, and I was so devoted to make this work. And it came to a point where I needed to say this isn't working, and let it be, accept that it wasn't working. And so I had all this anger and frustration and feeling of being cheated because I had spent so much time trying to make it work. So when I showed up to the Camino, of course, I am agitated and just have all these feelings that as a spiritual person, it's like, what is this? And the first person I meet, his name is Patrick. And it's like, no. And it was so the Camino. I just want to talk for 2 seconds. The
yeah,
Camino
please.
itself is quite a magical, unbelievable mirror of what's going on inside. And my big frustration with my Patrick was that he never listened. He blocked everything. But I got to walk with someone named Patrick who listened and held me with real availability, and just that was so healing. And I think he was one of my major Camino angels to say thank you for listening. And one day I swore like a drunken sailor. And he just was like, whoa, let it out, girl. And it was just like, it got to the point where I started laughing. It was just like, what is this? It was so cathartic. It was such a miraculous gift for me.
It really sounded like, as I was really struck, the magical quality of the journey itself and the Camino, and just kind of some of the metaphors that came up. Not that I necessarily want to go diving into the story, but I remember there was a story about your the we call them a shiwi or a sheepy over here, and there was a story, one particular story that had me in fits of giggles. That
My dark angels?
Yeah, absolutely, that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
And I don't want to give it away
No,
because,
absolutely.
but, yeah, I really want, when people read Walking Home, you never know. I mean, that's day by day, it's like, what's going to happen today? You just never know. And you think you're going this way, and then boom, I'm having this, and boom, I'm having this. And every day was such an epiphany and a healing and a humbling to what my ego thought was in control, and how much the universe is in such a perfect alignment to assist us. So yeah, it was, but and I have to say, since then, I do know that once you decide to be available to yourself, that every day, wherever you are, life will give you that mirror. And so in reading the story, I think, and the feedback I've gotten is people can see that this is occurring in their own lives now.
Yeah,
And that's the beauty.
absolutely, absolutely. Lots of funny moments as well as the hard moments.
Yes.
It really did have me in fits of giggles. Just thinking about that kind of the tough physical element of it. One of the things that really struck me, certainly in the beginning of the journey, was kind of the physical challenge of it. And of course, a lot of us are walking through physical challenge every day as well. So
Exactly. Krishna, the very first day, in spite of my big boot experience, I destroyed my feet, my toes, destroyed them. So every single step was physically excruciating for me. And yet, I don't know how, I made it. The pain, and I think that, and I'm hoping that people who have physical challenges can find some encouragement and some compassion and some appreciation for the heroic part of going through life when you're in pain and when you hurt and when your physical body is not reliable, and yet still you make it. And so, and then on top of that, it's late May into June, and it snowed and rained and was gray and freezing and windy to the very last day. And it was like that was matched the storms inside of me. And it was like, really? Really? And yet I could see how it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because it helped me face all these unwanted storms and move through them. It was such a perfect mirror for me of reflecting my own unwitnessed experience, because I didn't see those parts of my experience as holy or acceptable. And that's why it was so healing, is just to really see all parts of you, all experiences, all feelings, all emotions are acceptable. They're accept who you are and have compassion for yourself. And then you won't get stuck in it. You won't be possessed by it. It will move through you. And the other side of that is more availability to life.
Which has to be a great thing. And that's what we're here for, after all.
And so I just really hope that in reading Walking Home, people will walk away with the idea that, yeah, it's all good. It's all of me is good.
Absolutely. Just a couple more questions just before we wrap up. I'm just kind of curious. I followed your work for almost 10 years. Well, actually a lot longer than that, but we met about 9 years ago, I think. And obviously, one of the things that's always compelled me towards your work, Sonia, is how it moves and shifts and changes. And obviously, this is a big chapter of change in your work. So I'm just kind of curious how this is affecting your work as a spiritual teacher, as an intuitive, and how it is. Obviously, you've given lots of messages so far, but how is it affecting your work, as it were?
Well, Krishna, I have a prayer that I pray every day, and I have for years. So in terms of this tumultuous transformation, it was an answer to my prayer, which is, Holy Mother, Father, God, give me the courage to be authentic, to face all the consequences, and be available to all the growth that involves. And so I've never been a person who feels that I've arrived. I feel like I'm a messenger along the way. Mm-hmm. And in my experience and growth and availability to just being a student of life like everyone else, I now feel that the breadth of my work not only will give people the tools to access their spirit and get their inner guidance, but also to access their emotional self, their human pain, and find love, acceptance, compassion, and forgiveness, so that you can be even more available to the incredible gift of life that we have. So this whole new piece is now coming in, and I feel very grateful to be of service to that, because I do feel that our heart is broken as human beings right now on the planet, and that's why the chaos is as it is. It's really the rejection and the broken heart. So I want to be available to help heal that. Mm-hmm. And that's a new aspect of my work.
Can't wait to see how that comes out in your teachings.
Me too.
But it's all evolving, isn't it? So
yes,
absolutely. Yes. So, would you ever think about going back to do the Camino again?
Well, I actually did go back.
Did you?
I did it a second time because I did end up getting divorced, which was not expected. I had held the space till the very end to stay married, but the truth was, it was time to let that go. That ideal, that vow of I will make this happen,
Right.
and accept that this is our journey is complete. And so I went back a second time because the first Camino for me was healing the past. And the second Camino for me was walking into a new present. And I love it. I think I might do it again because it is such a magical, magical, truly out of this world place. It is truly not. When you step on that path, you are stepping into a different vortex. And it is incredible. So anybody who does feel compelled to walk the Camino, go for it. Even if you only do a piece of it, I did a stretch of 35 days, but what if you can have a week, do it. If you have 2 weeks, it doesn't have to be. You will get the same benefit, I am sure. I'm confident because of the vibration of this holy path that's been walked for thousands of years with prayer, intention, and desire to heal.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. So, one final question. What was the first big treat you gave yourself when you finished the first Camino?
The first Camino, I was so in such physical debilitation that the first treat is I went to a podiatrist and I got these foot wraps that just would hold my arch and my ankle, and I got a foot massage, and I got a very comfortable pillow and a little robe, and I cozied up and put my feet up, and it was like,
This is what heaven feels like.
yes.
Brilliant stuff.
And I'm so grateful for this comfort.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Well, thank you so much, Sonia. I have to say the book was a brilliant read. It's one of the most honest books that I've read in a very long time. One of the most uplifting books because of that. And I would encourage everyone to go out and read it. It is such a good transformative story. And because it's a human story, it's very relatable too as well. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being with us today.
And all my love and appreciation to you, to your followers, to everything. And I'm grateful. Thank you, Krish.
Thank you very much.
All my love.
Oh, my love.